Hi guys, today we're going to be taking a look at Fractal Design's Core series. Now within the Core series we've got the 1000 and the 3000. The 1000 deals with the smaller form factor, ITX and Micro ATX, whereas the Core 3000 behind me deals with ATX. Now you're going to be able to pick this up for around £50, so it's going to rival Phoenix Shinobi and Cooler Master's HAF 912. And available inside we have quite a lot of features. Inside we've got a 140mm fan at the front, we've got a 140mm fan at the top and a 120 at the very back. Inside we've got quick release systems for getting your kit inside and out, and the upper hard disk drive cage you can actually remove, you can rotate it. Probably going to be better to remove it if you've got a longer graphics card so you've got more clearance. But yeah, inside we've got a lot of features. We're going to go into these features as we go into the video. If you've got any questions, just drop them in the box below. Okay, starting things off then, at the front of the Core 3000 we've got a perforated mesh panel that spans the entire front there, you can see. And at the top we've got two 5 1/4 bay covers, and those can be removed from the inside. And at the very top we've got the Fractal Design logo, which is carved out of the plastic. In terms of front panel connectivity there, we've got at the very top headphone jack, a microphone jack, hard disk drive LED. We've got the reset button, which would probably need to be pressed with a pen, and that's just so that you don't accidentally press it. And in the centre there, a large power button, again with an LED indicator. We've got 4 USB 2 ports, and those are aligned in a vertical position. We don't actually have USB 3 on this, and as we've said in previous case reviews, when we've got a case which is perhaps at the lower end of the market, a budget case, they don't tend to bundle it with USB 3, just to keep the costs down. Looking further back along the top of the case there, we've got dual placement for 120 or a 140mm fan, and actually Fractal have installed a 140mm in that second slot at the very back. Taking a look at the sides, the panel which covers the back of the motherboard tray is just plain, but on the prominent side, this side here, we have a marking, a perforated cutout for mounting a 140mm fan or a 120mm fan. The mounting holes are there for you, and that's just going to give you a bit of extra cooling for the area around the graphics card. And then just to remove this panel, all you need to do is unscrew the thumb screws, and the side panel comes off really easy, just like that. And for the price of this case, the side panels and the overall construction is actually very good. We do get a little bit of flexing, but you do expect that. With that side panel removed then, we've got an idea for how much we can get inside the Core 3000 and just the overall layout. I've got my kit installed already, and just touch on a few of the aspects before we go into the closer look. You've got the trays for the hard disk drives. They're all white, and as are the PCI covers on the back of the case. The blades on the fans are all white as well, so contrasted against the black, it goes really well. Love the overall look of that, just the two-tone. Graphics card is actually quite tight for clearance against the hard disk drive cage, but remove 2 thumb screws and you can take this out completely. So we can either rotate it, different orientation, or we can completely remove it, and then we've got the unlimited clearance for the graphics card there. So what we're going to do now is going to go on a close-up tour of all the different aspects and the features, and just get a better feel for the Core 3000. At the bottom of the case here we've got a seating for power supply unit. There's 4 rubber mounts there for anti-vibration, and also obviously being rubber prevents metal on metal, which is obviously going to cause scratching. We've also got the fan filter there at the bottom, and you can remove that without having to spin your case on its side or on its top. At the back of the case there we've got 7 PCI expansion slot covers. Those are obviously, as I said, they're painted white. They have ventilation cutouts for better airflow, and also they've got the thumb screws so you can easily remove them. In terms of cooling there, we've got a rear exhaust which is 120mm, and then up at the top a 140mm fan which is again an exhaust fan. And then next to that we've got placement for a 120 or a 140mm fan. And behind the hard disk drive cage, which I've actually removed just so I can show you that case fan, we've got a 140mm there. That has a fan filter which you can remove, and you can clean that if you want to, if it gets dusty. Beneath that we've got another hard disk drive cage, and again we can install a 140mm fan there. And then at the very bottom we've got placement for installing a 120mm fan. Obviously there, my power supply is actually quite long and it covers the mounting holes, so I won't be able to do that. But that just shows you how many fans you can actually install in there. We've also got the ability to attach one to the side panel, so there's plenty of potential there for airflow. As previously mentioned, this upper hard disk drive cage can be removed or it can be rotated to a 90-degree angle. And to do this, all we need to do is remove the thumb screw, which is in the top and the lower part. And then once we've done that, we just need to pull the drive out, and you can see there the cage is able to be rotated to 90 degrees thanks to these rubber parts here. And obviously if we do have it at a 90-degree angle, the drives would go in at this sort of angle here, or we can completely remove it. Now what I would suggest, if you don't need to put any devices in that upper cage, I would completely remove it, for the simple reason that the case fan at the front of the case is going to pull in air from outside, and it's going to drive it across the motherboard, across the system and out through the back. So if you do have it free, if the cage isn't there, it's going to have a better route, it's going to have a better possibility for good airflow. Now to install the drive into each of the cages, get your drive like this. This is a 3.5 inch, but we can install 2.5 inch. You can see the mounting holes for the 2.5 inch. But what we do is just drop your drive in like this, and then on the underside you just need to apply a screw. You can see that I've put one in already, and you just need to put those in. So obviously we have mounting holes on the side of our drives and also on the bottom as well. So this configuration takes the mounting on the bottom, and then that simply just slides into the cage. And obviously this is metal, so we don't have the risk of breaking and snapping or anything like that. I've already shown you the GPU clearance and how with that upper cage removed you can basically have unlimited amount of clearance for the length of the graphics card. But we're now going to take a look at the CPU cooler. So you can see there I've got the clearance, which is quite tight indeed. We've got very little clearance. We've got here a Noctua NH-U12P, and this is 158mm in height. And you can see there isn't much space at all. With the side panel on, we've got just literally a millimetre, and that's all. So if you're looking for a bigger CPU cooler, popular ones like the Noctua NH-D14, Thermalright Silver Arrow, they're 160mm. I think you're going to struggle to get those in there, to be honest. So that's the Core 3000 in a nutshell, and whilst it does remain a positive outlook, there is one thing that can be improved, and that's cable management. Inside we've got the eATX, which runs up to the CPU power. Now typically you would expect it to be able to be routed behind the motherboard tray and up through the top via a cutout, but we don't actually have a cutout on the motherboard tray, so it has to trail across, up and behind the graphics card and up to the top. It's untidy, it looks a little bit, if you're going for a visual aspect, the aesthetics, it's not something that you want to really do. And for airflow, you really want to get your cables behind the motherboard tray. So that's just one thing that can be perhaps improved, but in general it looks great. Really discreet, sleek, professional sort of look to it. You can pop in there 7 fans, up to 7 fans. You've got 3 pre-installed. You've got a 140 at the front, the top, and a 120 at the back. You've got great build quality, and for the price, you know, it's great value. £50, you get those 3 fans, you get all those features inside. So for me, for the cost and for what you get, it's probably one of the best value for money mid-towers out there. So I hope you've enjoyed the video anyway, guys. If you've got any comments, just drop them in the box below. Thanks for the support. If you want to pop over to vortez.net, we've got a full written review over there. So over there we go into a bit more detail. This has only been a quick overview of the case. You've got high-res pictures over there. You've got the thermal performance, so you can check against the other cases that we tested in the past. Look at the thermal performance of Core 3000 with those 3 case fans. So guys, thanks for watching and stay tuned for more videos coming soon.